and now to talk a little bit more about applied anthropology and how it's been taught, and the teaching of it, and how it's been evolving in Portugal and only. I would invite Giulia to come forward to talk a little bit about it. To make a small introduction, Giulia is right now a professor at teaches, which is a university in Lisbon. She is one of the few people in the country that actually is giving classes and talks about organized anthropology or applied anthropology. And she's also practiced, so she's a very close idea in relation to the idea of the project. And she's going to talk a little bit about how the teaching of applied anthropology has evolved, how it can evolve more, and the viewpoint of it in Portugal nowadays. So without further ado, I'm going to pass the...
Thank you. Hi. Thank you for again to inviting me. What I can say, I was reflecting about the situation nowadays about applied anthropology, public anthropology in Portugal. I think during the last maybe 10 years, I don't know, I'm not sure how it is, there is a trend, something is changing. There is a flourishing of new associations, collectives of anthropologists, students also. We know we have an example of Amai that collaborated with the Ambigrama. We have Ambigrama, but also we have some collective that unite some anthropologists, non-anthropologists, artists that are interested in ethnographic methodologies that are very sensitive to. So I'm observing a change of trend that maybe it was stronger in Brazil before. I know that applied anthropology, for example, in Latin America or United States, has been always strong. It's part of the story of the discipline. But I see that something is changing here also. So a lot of collaboration. I'm thinking about applied anthropology as not only teaching. And so I think that that's why the coordination of anthropology at ISPS decided to create a curricular unit specific to teach the end of the graduation part, a course that is only about public and applied anthropology. I think it's very interesting. It's a challenge because how to teach applied anthropology? So it's not very theoretical. We can do a history, blah blah. What they did in the United States, for example, with there are very nice examples with health clinics, with the native population, and so on. But I think that it's more interesting to think about how to work in a very practical way. So I think that Priscilla mentioned how to design a project, but a project that can be not only a nice aesthetical design, very beautiful, but how to think about a real project. So I just this class started 3 years ago, so the experience is very fresh. I cannot say I have not a strong experience, but what I saw is that what is important is to focus on this project design. So I invite the students to form a group of work and then to think about like an application. So last year I copied the guideline of a real application. The municipality of Lisbon, the funds that the BIPSIPs, maybe this from Lisbon know this is annual, I think is annual funding for international projects in the municipality of Lisbon. So I just copied the guideline and I invited the students to imagine, not only imagine, to do some research. Research and think about how, as anthropology, we anthropologists can intervene. What we have to offer for exclusion, inequalities, or problems, or even for example, design, help to design a park or a public space. But my invitation to students is to think in a participatory way. So imagine that if it is a real application, we need really to talk with people before doing a free survey and to collect data, because the project has to be important for the people, not only for us. Yes, then I try to teach them some, how to say, that exist specific policies when we do application work. So that's so it's a kind of laboratory for me. I invite during the semester anthropologists or not anthropologists that has experience. I invite Ambigrama all the time. I invite, for example, I have colleagues that are psychologists and anthropologists, so they have experience. Sorry?
Maybe you would like the funding, we can make that.
Okay. Yes, this is another problem that we should talk about, the findings, the limitation, right? Yes, this is something that I'm trying to teach to my students, I try to do something of a real crazy fantasy. 2 years of funding, a lot of money, think what you would do with a lot of money, but I know that is not the reality, so it's not a lot. Yes. But thank you for this project. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I want to thank again Giulia for being here and sharing a bit about her experience and her ideas. We're going to pass down the last part of the podcast, and really this part is focused on the AnthroArt project, how they have collaborated with the project and their view on it, and how it can be useful to society. After that, we're going to do a small break.